Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my 2024 beauty favourite. Yes, that is my overall favourites for the year of all the products that came out in 2024. So remember that everything that I'm sharing with you guys was released this year. Now I've got quite a lot of things, obviously. Again, this year I was very picky and specific in the kind of makeup that I decided to purchase so that I wouldn't waste money. Now I'm not going to go into great detail about each of these products purely because just looking through everything, I would say I think I've done a review on every single product that is here. And just so that I don't make this video super long, let's just get into it. So let's start off firstly with foundations. The first one being my favorite and then follow it on to my least favorite, but they're all favorites, but obviously there is going to be one that stands out. The first foundation is the Maybelline Superstay Lumi-Matte foundation. Now I'm sure you guys already know there's a reason why I've got two of them. This is the shade 250 and 128. They are both warm toned, but there is no shade for me, so I always have to mix them and create my own color. I've got it on my face right now, and I know you guys have also told me to go and try out some of their other shades. Tried them, none of them match. They're all neutral or whatever it is, not right undertone. That is the only downside I would say to this range, is that the shade range is absolutely abysmal. I absolutely love this. It was very difficult for me to pick my overall favorite because I love so many that came out this year. The main reason I love this so much is because it's got a Lumi-Matte finish, so luminous matte. So it's not completely matte, it's almost like it's your skin but better. I love the fact that it is non-transferable. It doesn't crease, it doesn't budge, it stays on my face all day. It is a medium to full buildable coverage foundation, meaning that I can apply a little bit some days or a little bit more if my skin's feeling a little bit, you know. Hands down, this is the best foundation for me for 2024. Next up is this Dolce & Gabbana Everlast foundation. I love this as well. It's very difficult for me to decide between the Lumi-Matte and this one, which one was my favorite, especially because I got this towards the tail end of the year. I don't know if you guys can tell because there's like a little gap there, but I think I've actually used half of it, which is expensive, but I can't help myself. So it is a 24-hour full coverage 3D matte, no transfer, SPF 20 foundation. My skin looks flawless. There's nothing else I can say, and it does not come off. It stays on my face. The important thing when it comes to foundations for me is transfer, because like even for example, I've got this on, I've rolled it down so that I don't accidentally get makeup on my white jumper, which can happen a lot. It can happen with your coat as well. So a non-transferable foundation is always a tick for me. Also that coverage that it gives. Full coverage I'm very funny with nowadays because I don't need as much coverage as I used to because my skin is a lot better than it used to be. But at the same time, I don't want a full coverage foundation to look like it's full coverage. I need it to cover everything but still look natural at the same time, and that's exactly what this does. I absolutely love this. Next favorite foundation, and this also looks like it's half finished, is the Urban Decay Face Bond. So my shade is in 14 light medium golden. My skin color is light medium with golden warm yellowy undertones. So this is 14 light medium golden. Face bond, sticks to the face, self-setting, non-transferable, covers everything. I love it. I love the fact that it's got a serum-y kind of texture as well, so it's very easy to apply to the face, much like the Lumi-Matte one, even though I would say the Lumi-Matte one is a little bit more liquidy and applies a lot more quickly, but this is also just as good. The e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation, my shade is in 24 light warm. This is a medium buildable coverage foundation. Obviously it's got a satin kind of finish. It does transfer a bit, however I love the fact that number one, it is affordable, and number two, it just looks nice and natural on my face. What we all want from our foundations is for it to look natural. We don't want to look fake. We don't want to look like we've got makeup on, which is ironic because obviously my eyelashes are fake and my natural eyelid color is not glittery. But you understand when it comes to skin, because not everybody wants to kind of cover their entire face with makeup. They just want their base to look nice and natural, and that's why I like this. Another luxury brand, the Christian Dior Forever Skin Perfect Skin Stick Tint Stick foundation. My shade is in 2W. That is my shade in all Dior foundations. So this is obviously a stick foundation, very emollient to apply to the face, but it doesn't slide off and glide off like so many other stick foundations. This has got a medium to full buildable coverage foundation. I like the way that it feels on the skin, especially when it comes to the winter kind of months as well, because sometimes you need that extra bit of moisture, but at the same time it works quite well in the summer months. It does break down a little bit when it's very hot, and I'm I'm talking like 30 degrees, but generally speaking it looks amazing on the face and sits beautifully. And the fact that it is a stick means you can apply it very, very quickly, blends very fast, covers up everything. The Fenty Beauty Soft Lit Foundation, my shade is in 235. It's a little bit on the warm side for me, but you know what, you guys, I've tried so many of their shades now, I've just run out of patience, so I'm just going to settle for this. This works for me better definitely in the summer months in terms of shade. At the moment I am super duper pale. This one also gives a nice medium to full buildable coverage foundation. It is slightly on the glowier side, which is why it's probably my least of my favorites in terms of foundations. However, overall it performs quite well, so I'm happy with this. Let's now move on to concealers. The MAC Studio Radiance 24 Hour Luminous Lift Concealer. My shade is in 17.5. This is a brightening shade for me. This is an excellent concealer, you guys. Probably my favorite. Well, it is my favorite for the year, I would say, because I'm only showing you 2 concealers. But I love, firstly, I love the doe foot applicator. It's quite on the fluffy side, and I love the way that this just settles nicely under the skin, covers up all imperfections, even though it is a medium coverage and a luminous lift concealer. I don't get that bright luminosity, but it still at the same time very nicely sits under the skin. It doesn't crease, it doesn't budge, it doesn't crepe, it doesn't like go patchy under the eyes. It's an excellent concealer. Back to Fenty Beauty again. This is the Wear Even Concealer, and my shade is in 235W. It's what I'm wearing on my under eyes right now. Really nice medium to almost full coverage, very creamy under the eyes, sits beautifully, so much better than their first concealer that they ever released, which was absolutely awful. Now I'm not gonna lie, this doesn't necessarily last up to 12 hours because then there is a little bit of creasing under the eyes, but generally speaking it tends to work for me throughout an entire working day. This isn't also one that I would wear like on a night out, especially if I'm dancing around and I'm in high humidity and that sort of thing. But as an everyday kind of concealer, it works really nicely, and it does its most important thing is it covers my under eye circles. Now let's move on to bronzers. So these ones are obviously cream bronzers. These are the Too Faced Melting, Bronzing and Sculpting Sticks. I've got the shade Chocolate Mousse and the shade Chocolate Soufflé. So these are cream stick contour sticks basically. I think I'm wearing this one today, which is Chocolate Mousse on my cheekbones. I love how creamy these are, and I like how they set very nicely as well. Now, I'm not going to lie, I do set it on top with a bronzer as well. However, these are fine to work on their own as well. It's just in my mind, I don't need any kind of sticky or tackiness on my face. I like everything to be quite soft and smooth. These stay on the face really nicely. They give a very nice natural kind of contour as long as you make sure to blend it out properly. I like the quality of these. I didn't think that they would last me as long as they have done, but I also don't use them every single day. I use them more when I want to put a little bit extra glam on my look, but it's great for kind of natural contouring, especially if you just want to use it on its own. And I love the fact that it blends out so easily and then it sets as well, so you have to work fairly quickly, but overall I would say that these are excellent contour sticks. The other 2 bronzers shouldn't be a surprise. These are the NYX Buttermelt bronzers. I've got the shade Deserve Butter and All Buttered Up. So this is what they look like. One is a little bit more cool toned and the other one's a little bit more warm toned. The quality of these is excellent. The pigmentation is intense, same as the blushes, and I love the fact that they don't cost so much. A little bit goes a really long way, and overall I think these are excellent bronzers. Talking of the NYX Buttermelt blushes, you guys, I've got all 12 of them. I don't know if there's any point showing you all 12. There's my review video you can watch. I love them all. I've got all 12 of them here. All 12 of them. I have used them constantly ever since I bought them. I can't even say to you I have a favorite because I tend to use all of them. I've only got 2 hands, so let me maybe just show you 2. So this is the shade My Butter Half, and you know Butter. These are so intense, you guys. A little bit goes a really long way. This one I use quite a lot. It doesn't even look like it's been touched because you literally need a touch to apply it to your face. There's not a single skin tone out there that cannot use these. Quality is great. They glide on beautifully like butter, stay on the face, fully pigmented, they don't fade, they don't budge, they don't move, they don't go patchy. They're absolutely excellent and totally worth the affordable amount that they cost as well. Now I know this is limited edition, but I'm hoping that it's still available when you guys watch this video because it was limited edition for the holidays for 2024. This is the blush and highlighter collection palette. I think it's called the Jewel palette. So basically you've got a whole bunch of blushes in here and then a highlighter. The highlighter I've got the full size version of when it came out last year. Wait, what year are we in? We're in 2025 now. 2023 when it came out, right? So I'm still using that one. That's why this one hasn't been touched. That one's nearly finished actually. Absolutely love the Cloud Crush blushes. They're very, very pigmented. They glide on beautifully. They stay on the face. They are great quality. And I think that for £30, being able to get 4 of these is great value for money, especially as they cost individually, I think almost £30 each. So I'm very happy with this. I've got 2 of the Maybelline Sunkisser blushes. So these are the shimmery ones. I did have all 3 of them, or I bought 3 of them, but these are the 2 that I tend to use the most. These are on the shimmery side. They are obviously liquid blushes and they look like this. A little bit again goes a really long way. You have to go in with a very light hand and then you get that beautiful luminosity on the face. Now, as somebody who's got textured skin, I don't use this as much as I personally would do, but the reason why I put this in my favorites video is because the people that will be watching this, not everybody's got textured skin, so I'm not going to like kind of hold back just because of that reason. Because for those of you that aren't worried about texture and that sort of thing, you would love this, especially if you love shimmery kind of blushes. I'm more of a matte gal because of that exact reason that I've just mentioned. However, the quality of these is very, very good. It sets super fast, doesn't rub off, doesn't budge, sets beautifully, and they look stunning on the skin. I've got 2 highlighters to share with you guys in today's video. This is the Fenty Beauty Demi Glow Light Diffusing Highlighter. This is in the shade Prosecco and this is in the shade Pretty Pearls. They're the 2 lightest ones, number 1 and number 2. Now I'm going to open them very carefully because if you guys remember when I did my video on these, I said how delicate these are. They're so delicate, and that is the definite minus for these because the quality, you guys, is so good. Like, I literally put my brush in it once and I was able to cover this cheekbone, my nose and my bridge. Just with one swipe. That's how intense they are. They're soft, they're finely milled. It's like gliding butter onto the face. Does not accentuate texture as well because they don't have glitter in it. It's just metallic shine. Here's Pretty Pearls. If you guys remember, mine smashed. Mine came to me smashed because they're that delicate. I had to pour alcohol into it, smush it up, and I'm able to now use it. But I would say that that is a major problem with this, and the reason why I keep them in their box as well, because it doesn't close properly. Here, it doesn't stay closed either. Considering how expensive these are, it is a big shame. However, I can't lie to you guys and say that I don't love them because the quality is that good. It's just a shame that they are so easy to break. One powder to share with you guys is the new Too Faced Born This Way Soft Blur Flexible Finish Setting Powder in the shade Medium. Now, I have hit pan on this, which is a shame because I always use my Charlotte Tilbury one, the airbrush one. This one takes me about 6 months to hit pan on, and this one hit pan on it after about 6 weeks to show that the amount that they've put in here is not that good. However, I do have to still say it keeps my foundation looking blurred. It keeps it in place. It stops it from shifting around, and in that respect, I would say, yeah, it is a favorite. Will I repurchase it though? No. Now, to finish off with the face products, we've got the L'Oreal Infallible 3 Second Setting Mist. 36-hour no transfer. This is the second one I bought this year, and I can't lie, you guys, I use this in my hair as well as hairspray. The problem with this is that if you apply too much, your face feels constricted because there's a high amount of alcohol in here. But oh my god, does it keep your makeup in place for 36 hours? I would probably say yes. I've worn it up to 24 hours and my makeup is still perfect in place. Nothing has moved, nothing has budged. This is an excellent, excellent setting spray and definitely worth the money. Now let's move on to eyeshadows. Bear in mind that I have been, again, super picky this year. I have literally bought 3 eyeshadow palettes this year. These are the Creamy Obsessions palettes that she released earlier on in the year. I've got Neutral Brown and I've got Grage Creamy Obsessions. So the reason that they are called that is because they are not your normal matte eyeshadows or your normal shimmery shadows. They've actually got a cream to powder finish. So they are a little bit on the different side. Obviously, you can see this one is cool toned. This is actually what I'm wearing on my eyes today in case anybody was interested. And then this one is a little bit more on the warmer toned side. So I like the fact that despite the fact that they are cream to powder, they still perform very, very well. They're very easy to blend onto your eyes. It starts off as a cream on the brush, but then when you start blending it out, it turns beautifully into a powder that is very easy to blend. And I like the colors of these. They're very wearable, very easy to use as well. And then no surprise should be the other one, the last large Huda Beauty palette ever. This is the Icy Nude palette. So this one is a predominantly cool toned palette. again with your usual shimmery shades. You've got your foiled shadows as well, a couple of warm tone ones just thrown in there as well. But ever since this came out, you guys, I can't lie, it's probably the only one that I've used, aside from the other two which have been consistent throughout the year. This one I've not been able to put down. This one I used on New Year's Eve. This one I wore at Christmas. This one I've worn on so many different types of occasions just because it's so wearable and the quality is excellent. So no surprise, I love this as well. And finally we're going to go on to lips, and I've left that last on purpose because I obviously use the most when it comes to lipsticks. I can use the same foundation every day for a month, but every single day of that month I will have a completely different lipstick on. So let's start off with lip liners, you guys. The NYX Line Loud lip liners. I've got loads of them. I'm not going to go through every single one because we'll be here forever, but these are excellent, excellent quality. You can see probably this is the one that I've used the most. This one is in the shade Hottie Hijacker. It is a bright, bright pink, fuchsia pink. These are excellent, creamy, long wearing. They don't move. Even when the lipstick starts to come off, they remain. They're just excellent. I'm really happy with these, and that's the reason why I've got so many of them. I've actually got more in my drawer as well. I've got 4 of these Maybelline lifter liners. So these are, again, very similar to the NYX ones. Very pigmented, very creamy, very easy to apply. They don't drag on the lips like old school lip liners used to do. I haven't got as wide a range in terms of shades as NYX does, but hopefully they will expand because I would say that the quality is good. So I love these as well. I will list all of these in the info bar below just so that you can look into the shades in a little bit more detail yourself, as long as I've got enough space, because we are limited in how much stuff we can actually write in the info bar, in case you weren't aware. And then just to add this one random lip liner is the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in the shade 90s Pink, which I tend to use with the 90s Pink lipstick. This is gone kind of blunt, but personally I would say I would overlook this one for these, just because this one's so expensive. And here is 90s Pink from Charlotte Tilbury. So at the beginning of the year, Charlotte Tilbury came out with a couple of pink and red Hollywood lipsticks. So this is one which obviously came with that lip liner. Then we've got Candy Chic, which is this baby pink color, and then Icon Baby as well. I've got a couple of the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip velvets. So this is a new release in 2024 for Anastasia Beverly Hills in terms of lipsticks, as in it's a new concept. It's got that moussey kind of texture, full coverage. It does come off like a normal lipstick. However, I like how they feel on the lips. So let's start off with one of the more recent ones which came out towards the end of the year, which is Pomegranate, which is what I'm wearing on my lips right now. Rose Mauve, which is a lovely color. I didn't do a review on this, but I did do a shorts video, so you can check it out, the lip swatches of that. And then right at the beginning of the year, when she first came out with a couple of them, I picked up these two, which I do use and have been using throughout the year. So we've got the shade Peach Amber and then the shade Parchment. They're very similar. This one's a little bit more on the orangey side, and this one's more on the browny orangey side, so this one's a little bit darker. Maybelline continuously expands their vinyl ink range, and this year they came out with the Pink Mix collection. Now I think there were 5 or 6 shades, but these are the ones that I tend to use the most, to the point where they all expired at some point during the year, and then I went and repurchased them. Out of all of them, I would probably say that Rouge is my favorite one. It's a coral pink color, which I have used pretty much consistently throughout the year. Then we've got the shade called Striking, which, as the name suggests, is a strikingly bright hot pink. Gorgeous, so in your face. I love it. And then the more subtle ones, Sultry is one of those ones which I like to wear to work a lot because it's quite on the subtle side, but at the same time it still gives a hint of color. And then we've got the more darker kind of plummy sort of one, which is called Unafraid. What I love about these obviously is that they're long wearing. They don't come off at all, even past 12 hours. They never need a touch up. They're glossy, they're in your face, they're full coverage, they're fully pigmented, they look amazing. I will always love the Maybelline vinyl inks. Too Faced Lady Bold cream lipsticks that came out this year. All 6 of them, I absolutely adore them. I love them. I use them all the time. Dear Diary is one that I tend to use quite a lot because somebody like me who is a South Asian brown person who's got darker lips, it doesn't matter what my skin color is, my lip color is quite dark. I find it quite difficult to find the right kind of baby pink to wear. So this one is perfect. So I use this one quite a lot, and I tend to mix up the lip liners and deepen the shade as and when, or depending on what I'm wearing. Power Move is such a gorgeous bright pink color. It's like a neon almost. Committed is more on the kind of subtle purpley kind of side. Love that as well. Upgrade is just an amazing like dark purple plum color. Hopelessly Devoted is like a reddish raspberry kind of pink. And then we've got Main Character, which is like a neon berry color. What I love about these is that they are full coverage, they're creamy, they feel luxurious on the lips, they last a lot longer than normal lipsticks. These probably need a touch up once in the day. As long as when you apply it first you blot it and then kind of pat it on afterwards, it will last you throughout the day. And because of that I tend to wear them quite a lot. I'm a big fan of these. And then finally we have got this Dior lipstick right here. This was a sellout item in 2023 and it was a sellout item again in 2024. This is the Forever Sequin Liquid Lipstick. My shade that I have is in 999, and the reason why it's so popular is because it's not only the shade that is popular, because there's a couple of them, but the thing about this is that you apply it and you purse your lips together and it releases little sparkles all over the lips. The sparkles don't tend to come off. Now, this isn't an amazing liquid lipstick in terms of its longevity, because I noticed that when I wore it out a couple of times, I had to retouch it about 2-3 times, and then the sparkliness kind of like just gets mixed in with like the new layer that you put on. However, I like the concept of it, and as a result of that, I would say yes, it is a favorite, because I did wear it quite a lot over the holidays. Oh my god, so that's it. That is all my favorite makeup beauty items for 2024. Let me know what your thoughts are. How many of these products did you try and how many did you not try, and do you definitely want to try? Hands down, these are favorites for a reason. I will continue to love them throughout the rest of the year, and obviously I'm very much looking forward to seeing the new items that are coming out for 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Happy New Year everyone, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.